So a few months ago, the fanboys on the Fractal Audio Forum held a witch burning, where I was the guest of honor. My crime? Not liking the axe effects in the proper way and having an opinion different than theirs. So I've been taking a closer look at a few other amp sims, and a lot of you guys suggested that I check out Guitar Rig and Amplitude, which I will get to eventually. I fucking hope so anyway. And while those are very popular, I'm going to take a closer look at something a little different. Recabinet. How does it hold up? Let's put it to the test and find out. Recabinet started out as a series of cabinet impulses. They were quite extensive and sounded very good. Now with version 4, the program has added amp modeling into the picture. I've cooked up a series of tests using both the cabinet simulator with a live tube head as well as using the full-blown amp sim. As always, I've brought in a live drummer because samples suck giant hairy donkey balls. And if you say you prefer tight samples, well, you're a fucking idiot. Here we go. Alright, I gotta say, I am extremely fucking impressed with this thing. The cabinet simulations are fucking outstanding. If you're a metal guy, you might want to have a very close look at this. And the fact that the base price is only $100 makes this a total steal. There's a $300 price for upgrades for 3 years, which is still quite reasonable considering that the interface should be getting an overhaul and many more amps and cabinets will be added. As for the amp sims, there are 5 available at this point, with more on the way. For my money, the sims of the 5150 Mark II and the Framus Cobra sound the best. In fact, the Cobra matched up with the greenback cab is an unbeatable combination. Let's put it this way. If someone were to come into my studio with an Axe FX2, I'd ask them to consider using Recabinet instead, especially if it's a metal player. Yes, it is that good. The cab simulator sounds great as well. It's not as robust as, say, the Torpedo Wall of Sound, however. You are limited to only 2 simulations of cabinets at any one time, and you will not be cooking up a dust devil with this, unfortunately. Mic positions are somewhat limited as well, with just choices of close, mid, far, on and off axis. You're not given a slider or knob to dial in the mic position precisely. You're kind of stuck with what they give you. But then again, the available positions all sound pretty excellent. And you can mix and match to come up with some pretty cool mic combinations, including the Fredman technique. I find the post EQ to be perhaps a little too gentle. I like my high pass filter to be pretty aggressive, and you really have to lean on this one to get it to do anything. My only real gripe with this program, other than being a bit of a CPU hog, is that I'd like to see the amp's control panel change to mimic the real thing. A dual rectifier does not have a resonance control, yet the sim does, and it actually works. That's a little fucking weird. Some power switching options would be cool too. Tube and solid state rectifier, bold and spongy power, that sort of thing. Kazrog has some big plans for this program this year, so hopefully some of my concerns will be addressed. As it stands, it's an incredible sounding, if somewhat Spartan looking amp sim, and the price can't be beat either. And on my own personal take, for what it's worth, I've been a diehard SAW Studio user for the last 10 years. However, the plugin support hasn't been so great in the last few years, and Recabinet to me falls into the killer app category. And it was one of the reasons that I switched over to Reaper.